So here in the United States, officials like to control everything that we do. From what we say, to what we watch on television, to what we see on social media. But they also want to control what we eat. Here's what's going on. We are now seeing more and more bans or potential bans for food that we consume. Just look at this right here. This is what's going on. California passes a school food bill banning 6 chemicals linked to behavioral issues in kids. Now, this is only expanding. This is just getting started. And we have new reports of what we may be seeing coming to the United States very soon. This is what Europe is already doing. Mexico is doing this as well. But here inside the US, we haven't done it yet. So again, I want to break down what's going on and how this could lead to potentially banning thousands and thousands of food that we consume on a daily basis. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So first off, why are US officials trying to ban chemicals that are linked to behavioral issues in kids? Well, it's simple. Because they are linked to behavioral issues. And giving kids certain candies and food isn't a big deal. It's not extremely harmful if it's in moderation. But some kids, some people, some adults don't do things in moderation. They eat candy by the pound. Not just a little bag of candy once a week. And again, that's what's hurting them. And I bring this up because this is the thing that came out a couple weeks ago. That California passed a school food bill banning 6 chemicals linked in behavioral issues in kids. But here's what came out just recently. Look at this one right here. It says, what warning labels could look like on your favorite foods. Look at this right here. Here's just some examples. Okay, high in added sugar. Nutrition info, saturated fat, low. Sodium, medium. Added sugars, high. If you look around, this is what's going on. These are the things that you see. Okay? This is in Mexico. Okay? Look at this. This is what it could look like. Well, you'll see Cheerios, and then you see at the top of the box, there it is. Right? On things like Gatorade, big old tag that says nutrition info. Right? Same thing. High in added sugars. Right? You see these different labels. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, look at this right here. This right here, this is in Europe. It's called a Nutri-Score. Okay? This is what they want to go by. They want to go by a score like that. That was ranked D. Well, here's this one right here. Okay? This is down in Mexico. Okay? Chokis. Okay? There's excessive calories. It's high in calories, high in sugar, high in saturated fat. That's where we're at. Now, why am I bringing this to your attention, though? Why is this such a big deal? Well, we're going to read a little bit more of this article from the Washington Post in just a second, but this is the reason why. If lawmakers can't get the food labels, because that is the first step, is to get the food labels to just warn you that, yes, this is coming, this is what's happening. Okay, remember when, carbonated drinks, things with extra sugar, got an additional tax on it, right? It was more expensive. Yeah. Well, guess what? If they can't get the labels on it, what's the next step? They're going to ban all these things. We're already seeing it in California. That's where it starts and then it spreads. But let's keep reading this. It says, your food may soon come with warnings. The Food and Drug Administration plans to propose labeling this fall for the front of food and drink packages to help Americans make healthier choices to address exploding obesity rates years after other countries took similar action. Yeah, we're years behind. Okay, the obesity rate in children is going through the roof. It says the labels are supposed to flag products containing high levels of sodium, saturated fat, or added sugars. Common features of ultra-processed foods that make up more than half of the calories Americans consume each day. but the labeling options under consideration by the FDA are not clear enough to protect Americans' health, some nutrition experts and lawmakers say. Now, here we go. It says other countries understand that childhood obesity is a major health crisis. We've got to do the same. Nearly 20% of U.S. children are obese, nearly 4 times the rate in the 1970s before the proliferation of ultra-processed food, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention. Now, here's where things get interesting. You know what the cheapest food to consume is? In some cases, it is the ultra-processed foods. It's not the most filling. It's not the best as far as nutrition, but it's sometimes the cheapest. So in a world that we live in today where we are all concerned with our wallets and we're thinking financially more so as health-wise, that's a big issue. Because when parents take their kids to the grocery store and the kid's like, oh, look at this one, it has a little Mickey Mouse on it, I want that one. Oh, this juice, it has characters on the top of it, I want those. Those aren't the healthiest options. The healthier options are the things that the kids aren't going to look at, right? Nobody's going to look at those things. And one of the reasons why the healthier options are the ones that have they're not really appealing to kids because their product is just bland, right? It's just basic because the product is what costs the most. They're trying to save money on the packaging so that you can actually afford it. That's the reason why. But again, I bring this to your attention because everything could be banned here in the United States. How much stuff has too much sugar? So much stuff. How much stuff has too much saturated fat? So much, right? How much has too many calories based off of a 2,000 calorie per day diet? So much stuff. This is the reason why, again, and I bring this to your attention because the FDA's plan to put these labels on here in the fall. They want to pass this bill here in the fall. Now, do I see this thing coming? I don't know. I don't know if we go that far, but this is the reason why. If the federal government doesn't do it, and the FDA doesn't decide to make this a requirement for these food companies, there's a good chance that these states are going to step up and start banning certain foods, certain dyes, okay, certain ingredients. We've talked about this before. It is just a matter of time, and it is coming. And one of the other things I just want to mention, when certain states or the federal government decides to start banning ingredients, banning dyes, keep this in mind. When things got too expensive, these manufacturers found ways to make the same product without using the same ingredients. Find a cheaper solution. The cheaper solution, for many cases, is a not so good option health-wise. And so, as the FDA decides to ban certain things, these manufacturers are not going to stop selling the product. What they're going to do is find an alternative route to create the exact same product with a very similar taste for a cheaper price. So, we're going to see what happens moving forward, but that is my warning to you. As right now they are looking into adding labels to the front of our food, this could turn into a major disaster and cause companies to lose profit. They're not going to do that. They're going to find a different route to create the exact same product for a cheaper price to give you that option. So, we'll see what happens moving forward, but as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.